What's going on, man? So why you need to go into situations where you're low status. You need to get used to that. The game of high status, learning how to get high status, is played over a long time, right? You have to put yourself in situations where you play the game a lot, okay? If you're just in a situation where you're high status and you just keep that as long as possible going, you're not going to learn how to be able to keep high status. You'll be able to keep it. You'll learn how to be able to keep it, but you won't. You'll be very protective of that social status in that place, in that group. Okay? So before I get into that, each group, each organization, each business, each family, there's a status hierarchy. There's a social hierarchy, all right? The alpha's at the top, all right? That's the alpha. But the way to become alpha in a group, organization, business, family, the rules are different in each playing field. It's all a playing field. It's all a chess game, right? There's different rules of engagement. So let's say you join the military. To become an officer, you have to do certain things. There's different rules. There's different playing pieces, playing rules to get to be high status in that situation. Versus, like, say you work at an ice cream store. There's different ways to become the most high status member of that ice cream store. That's so random, right? But, or say you work at Chipotle, there's different rules. There's patterns in each of these playing fields, in each of these chess games, right? But so you have to be able to put yourself in as many chess games as possible, especially when you're in your 20s, and be able to learn how it plays out. When you first put yourself in, you're going to be low status, and you need to figure out how to become high status in those situations, right? So, let's see how I want to go about this. So in order to learn how to play the status game, you got to be comfortable with being low status for a certain period of time. All right? I went out and lived in a farm in Hawaii. I've mentioned this before in other videos. And I was low status right away. What would give me high status in that situation was if I knew how to work with my hands, if I knew a lot about farming, if I knew a lot about vegetables, plants, if I was able to be social in the environment in a fun way. I wasn't able to attain high status in that situation, okay? I lived there for 3 months in a farm in Hawaii. I wasn't able to attain high status. I was very low status. The girls didn't want to bang after a while. They didn't want to bang. The guy didn't have much respect. But I was okay with that. I was okay with not being high status in that environment because I didn't care to become a farmer. I didn't care to be really good at working with my hands. I can do that to a certain degree, but I'm way better. I have way other skills that I can use to get high status. So you have to know your skills. You have to know what you're good at, and you have to know when to give up. Like you have to know when not to play the fucking game. I don't really care to be the most high status farmer on a farm in Hawaii. That's kind of cool, but that doesn't play to my strengths, and that's not what interests me over time. What was cool was that I went and tried that out, right? I went and tried that out. So other places I've become high status, or organizations. I'm really good at video production. I'm really good at leading people. I'm really good at having empathy for other people. I'm really good at being able to have the balls to tell people what to do with a certain goal in mind, not selfish goal, not an ego goal, but a goal in mind that all of us will benefit, a win-win, being a leader in that way. So you have to put yourself in your 20s. I think this is the best time to do it because when you're 40 or something, it's just weird. It's just weird if you're So for example, I recently started playing in a pool league. I thought I was good at pool because everyone I play, I'm pretty 90% of the time I'll win, but I'm only playing people that don't play seriously. I now am in a pool league. I suck ass compared to these guys. This is a pool league where if you miss playing pool, you lose the fucking game, basically, because they will run the table. So, but I put myself in a situation, I'm low status right now in that situation, in that pool league. I'm low status because the rules of engagement say that a high status individual is good at pool. That's like number one, all right? I'm playing on a team. If I make my team lose, they're not gonna like me. They're not gonna, look at me as a high status person. I'm gonna be low status. But I'm willing to put myself in that position and be low status for a while because I know that I can get really good at pool. I want to get really good at pool. It's worth it for me. I enjoy it that much. And that I can get good over time. So I can achieve a certain sense of status in that group over time. And I'm willing to put in the work to do that. So you have to find situations, and when you're in your 20s, young 20s, you don't know what necessarily you're good at. You don't know how to play the status game, but so you just have to put yourself in positions to learn. Okay, so in order for that to happen, you have to be okay with low status. You have to be okay with being a little bit depressed, because in the social hierarchy, in the status hierarchy, a low status male is going to be depressed. That's how it goes. Depression is not a thing that just happens for no reason because you're have your chemicals in your brain are wrong or something. I actually disagree with that. It's not a mental health issue. It's a status issue. Depressed males are low status in their environment. Happy males are high status in their environment for the most part. Okay? They've put themselves in situations, they've created systems, they've created friends that all look up to them as a high status individual. Put them, So you got to get comfortable with being low status, especially in your 20s. If you want to become a high status person over time, you got to learn how to play the game. You got to learn how to be low status and decide, okay, am I going to be able to climb the rungs of this ladder? Is it even worth it for me? Are my skills going to be able to help me to do that? Those are some questions you need to ask yourself when you put yourself in an environment like that. So that's how, in this whole game of status, you got to learn how to be cool with being low status. That's it. All right, leave any questions in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and maybe I'll answer one of your questions if it's a good question. Aside from that, peace out.